Is Patrick Reed really golf's greatest villain, or did the PGA just never like him to begin with? This gives you a closer look at one of golf's most talked about players, from college trouble to fights with the PGA and the switch to LIV Golf. Even with big wins, he never got the love, and here's why. This isn't just another golf story. Using facts from golf.com and Golf Digest, we're showing you what the PGA won't say out loud. Stay tuned until the end to find out what really happened when Patrick Reed left the PGA for a LIV Golf. Let me give you a glimpse into how one bold quote turned Patrick Reed into golf's biggest villain. From the very start of his pro career, Patrick Reed stood out, and not just because of how he played. In 2014, after winning his third PGA Tour event, he said something in an interview that raised a lot of eyebrows. "I'm one of the top 5 players in the world." Some people saw it as confidence, but to most, it sounded like he was full of himself, especially since he hadn't even played in all 4 major tournaments yet. That one quote made headlines. Reporters called him arrogant and said he hadn't earned the right to make such a bold claim. That was the moment things started to change. The media began to paint Reed as the bad guy of golf. His interviews were short and serious. He rarely smiled. While other young players were joking around and seemed friendly, Reed came off as more intense and closed off. And fans saw it too. On the course, he looked like someone who didn't really hang out with the rest of the guys. Players like Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, and Ricky Fowler were often seen practicing together and spending time off the course. But Reed, he was mostly on his own. He didn't seem interested in being part of the group, and people noticed. Even though he kept winning, Reed wasn't included in fan favorite lists or PGA Tour promos. He wasn't in the fun TV ads or behind-the-scenes videos. It was like the tour didn't want to feature him. Even when his stats were just as good as the top stars, his name wasn't in the mix. That made people wonder, was it his personality? Was it the way he carried himself? Or was it just because he didn't try to fit in? Whatever the reason, Patrick Reed got a label early on. And once people start seeing you as the villain, it's really hard to change their minds. Stay tuned, because when we get to his LIV Golf move, things get really messy. But before the PGA spotlight ever found him, what really happened during Reed's chaotic college days? Before Patrick Reed ever set foot on a PGA Tour course, his name was already surrounded by controversy. His college golf career didn't start off smoothly. In fact, it was messy from the beginning. He began at the University of Georgia, a top program, but didn't last long. Less than a year in, he was dismissed from the team. The school never gave a clear reason, but it didn't take long for rumors to spread. Reports mentioned issues with discipline, possible rule breaking, and tension within the team. Even years later, some of his old teammates hinted at problems behind the scenes. Things like trust issues, arguments, and a general feeling that Reed didn't mesh with the rest of the group. No one gave full details, but enough people said enough things to make the story hard to ignore. After Georgia, Reed transferred to Augusta State University, and from a performance standpoint, it worked out. He played a key role in helping the team win back-to-back NCAA championships. But even with the wins, the drama followed. Stories came out from former teammates at both schools, and while not all of them were confirmed, the pattern was clear. Reed was incredibly talented, but he didn't always get along with the people around him. Some said he kept to himself. Others said he was overly confident. A few said it just felt like there was always some sort of tension when he was around. Whether it was his attitude, his behavior, or just bad chemistry, it was clear Reed had a hard time fitting into the team culture. By the time he turned pro, his reputation already had some baggage. The talk about his character wasn't new. It had been around since college. And as his career took off, those whispers only grew louder. He earned the green jacket, but why didn't he earn the spotlight? Even with all the drama, Patrick Reed started winning, and quickly. From 2013 to 2018, he racked up several PGA Tour wins, including the big one, the Masters in 2018. On paper, his stats matched some of the top names in golf, but you wouldn't know it by how the PGA promoted its players. While stars like Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, and Ricky Fowler were all over TV ads, magazines, and fan votes, Reed was mostly left out. Even after winning a major title, he wasn't treated like one of the faces of the tour. Big-name sponsors also stayed away. Unlike most Masters champions, Reed didn't land the big money deals. The difference is clear when you compare them. Reed had the wins, but not the spotlight. Was it because of his past, his rocky relationship with the media, or maybe he just refused to play along with the system? Whatever the reason, Reed's rise came with very little praise and a whole lot of criticism. Now here's where things got messy, and the villain label really started to stick. Then came the problems that really kicked off Reed's villain story. The most well-known happened at the 2019 Hero World Challenge, when Reed got a penalty for fixing the spot where his ball was lying. And it was caught clearly on camera as he moved sand behind the ball. Even though he said he didn't mean to do it, a lot of people in the golf world didn't buy it. Some even called it cheating. Other players didn't hide their anger. And it wasn't the only time. Over the years, Reed has been accused several times of not following the rules, and that didn't help how people saw him. His relationship with the media got worse. So did things with his family. In a very public situation, Reed reportedly cut off his parents and didn't let them attend his tournaments, not even when he won the Masters. It was a mix of everything: rule-breaking drama, family problems, fights with the media, and tension with other players. In a sport that values honesty and tradition, Reed seemed to go against both, and the PGA, without saying much, started to pull away from him. If you think things are intense now, wait until you see what happened after he signed with LIV. We're almost there. Up next, this is one of Patrick Reed's biggest highlights and also caused more drama. During the Ryder Cup, Reed became known as Captain America, a fired-up, tough player who thrived under pressure. His 2016 match against Rory McIlroy is already unforgettable. Reed's energy, fist pumps, and connection with the crowd were exciting, and for a short time, fans really loved him. But even within Team USA, problems started. In 2018, Reed openly called out his teammates and coaches after being split from his usual partner, Jordan Spieth. He complained about team chemistry, practice pairings, and lack of communication. What should have been a moment of teamwork turned into another messy chapter in his career. The Ryder Cup showed Reed's contradiction, clearly gifted and exciting to watch, but often clashing with the people around him. A star on the course, but trouble off it. This is the moment you've been waiting for. What really happened when he joined LIV Golf? And why did it cause so much chaos? When Reed joined LIV Golf in 2022, it was the final break from PGA Tour tradition. By siding with the Saudi-backed rival league, he solidified his role as an antagonist in the eyes of PGA loyalists. The move came with financial benefits, sure, but it also burned bridges. Reed didn't just join LIV quietly. He sued Golf Channel and reporter Brandel Chambly for defamation, citing a media smear campaign against him. The lawsuit, later dismissed, only further painted him as combative and litigious. His choice to fight the narrative in court rather than through press conferences kept headlines negative. Even with strong play on the LIV circuit, the PGA Tour's silence about his achievements spoke volumes. Reed became golf's ultimate outsider, a man with trophies, yet no parade. And whether you see him as misunderstood or malicious, his story is unlike any other in the game. We hope you enjoyed diving into the wild story of Patrick Reed, from college drama to Ryder Cup chaos and his bold leap to LIV Golf. Love him or hate him, you can't deny he's one of the most talked about names in the game. Ready for more? Watch the next videos to keep exploring the highs, lows, and legends of the sport.